Hey everyone, I am back with another scam. I'm Pinky Hooks, better known as Shania Lancaster, or should I say I'm Shania Lancaster, aka Pinky Hooks. This is not a crochet video, this is another scam. Last video I recorded was HR being the biggest scam ever in history, but I'm not really sure if that's the biggest scam. So, as usual, like everybody else, I have everyday things outside of work that I have to do. I have to go to the store, I have to run errands, I have to clean my house, I gotta play with my pet, blah, 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 blah. I'm in the store, and of course, I have like a couple of items, and I'm talking about the market, and I'm looking and I'm like, man, what? They got one cashier? I'm like, no, who wants to stand in line after working all day, and you just want to get home and you're just like, dude, I got a couple of items. And even if you don't have a couple of items and you had to go to the grocery store, maybe you just need to do regular food shopping. I don't really care if it's a day after work or even on the weekends, right? We just want to get in and get out. And that's exactly what I did. So I go to the self-checkout line because they got like 5 open, and that poor little cashier got a line going down the aisle, and people are standing there and they're going like this, and they're trying to get out of there with those screaming kids and get home and put dinner on the table. And I'm thinking, you idiots, you're standing over there and you can just be over here with me checking out. And then I forgot, some people don't feel comfortable using those. They're like, nah, like they're okay if they got a can or two, but they're like, no, I got produce. I got things that need to be weighed. I got coupons. And I'm looking at them like, don't you know the self-checkout line does all of that? It can take your coupons. It can go ahead and weigh your stuff. This is just greatness. And it can scan your little membership card to that supermarket if you have one. So I proceed to go and be the fabulous person that I am, like trying to show off, like I'm really, really good at this scanning thing or whatever. And someone is probably thinking to themselves, bravo, wow, that lady is fantastic. Probably. Because it didn't dawn on me until I got in the car, and I was just, I don't know why. I literally had an epiphany, and I was just like, ding, bulb light came on. I was just like, yeah, the people in the store that work in the store, they're not applauding me. Well, they could be. The people who are applauding me are the eye in the sky. You know who the eye in the sky is? It's the cameras. And I truly believe that those cameras just aren't for security to see if you're taking something that you shouldn't be taking. Those eyes in the skies are probably going to corporate headquarters, supermarkets all across the world. And those men are sitting around a board table puffing on cigars that says, see, fellas, I told you. Free labor. They are. It is free labor, folks. It's got to be the biggest scam, one of the biggest scams ever, okay? Because I already talked about like HR being the biggest scam, but I did not realize how many scams there are. And we have all been like, like victims of it. Because it's a subliminal message that's being put out there. The subliminal message is, hey, let me wrap this up, package it, and present it to the consumer or to society as this is something that will help you. This is something that is on your side. It's not on your side. They packaged this. They branded this concept that if we let the people check out themselves, right? Now, number one, you see the beauty of it? They don't have to stand in a line. That slow little girl who just got here and she's scanning and she's like, assistance on aisle 5 or cashier number 5 or whatever. They're presenting this to you. They're presenting this to you and saying, you no longer have to smile and talk to some cashier who's trying to be polite to you. You can just go up, stay plugged in, stay on your phone, keep talking or whatever, because you're not being rude, because you're checking your own self out. And you can bag your own stuff the way you want to. You don't have to tell that girl at the, at the end of the supermarket line who doesn't seem to understand you shouldn't put the ice cream in with that hot barbecue chicken that you're taking home for dinner. You can do all yourself. All you got to do is stand there and scan everything yourself. Meanwhile, we're able now to resign or fire 60% of our staff. Why? Because we don't need all these cashiers. We just built the columns to accommodate 20 cashiers, but we only really need to use 2 because you, the public, you're great. You're going to go ahead and you're going to check it out. And guess what? You're going to do it for free after you've paid us for overpriced groceries. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. Yeah, it's a scam. And if you're like, Pinky, why are you smiling? I'm smiling because I am delirious right now, thinking about like, wow, we have all been doing free labor. Yup. Yeah, and yeah, I'm not proud. I'm not proud that I fell for that trick. It dawned on me. And I really kind of had this thought about, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago when I went into Michael's. Now, everyone knows that Michael's is a craft store. And I went up to the counter with my little diamond arts and crafts and stuff or whatever. And the counters looked funny. And I was just like, wait, did they do some type of, reconfiguration in here? And I don't see no cashiers. None. We're talking about Michael's craft store on a Saturday. And then all of a sudden I see somebody with a little red vest from Michael's. Oh, you can go right there. And I'm thinking, oh, they're about to get behind the counter. She's pointing me to their new self-checkout. I was just like, what? And I mean, they literally, and theirs is big. It's like a huge monitor, screen TV almost, right? And you're just like, boop, 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 and I'm like watching this. And they only will have one cashier now. Yeah, that's it. They'll have one cashier. And meanwhile, you're standing there and you're scanning. You're scanning your coupons, you're putting in your little membership ID. I guess that's usually, when you put it in your telephone number, you're doing all of that for free. You're bagging your stuff and then you put your little cart back, which should be your responsibility anyway. But yeah, you just worked for Michael's in your local supermarkets for free. I didn't know you guys liked working for free. Yeah, you do. We all seem to do. Yeah. And now I get it. See, I thought that the older generation was purposely just getting in those lines. And I'm like, sir, you have 1 can of Hormel chili. You can go over here and scan it. And I bet you that older man probably was just like, you young whippersnapper, don't you know you're working for free? No, these people are going to work. Now, here's the kicker. We're all in the supermarket, you and I, and we're scanning our own stuff, and we're up here bagging it and doing all kinds of stuff. Meanwhile, there is an employee that stands at the head watching everybody for the checkout line. Now, here's the crazy concept. They are getting paid. And it may not be some fabulous salary, but they're getting paid by the hour to stand there and watch us work. How genius is this? You gotta admit, you may be mad while you're watching this video, but you gotta admit it's freaking genius, depending on what end you're on. Yes. Yup. They're standing there watching just to make sure that you actually scan the actual items that's in there, making sure probably that maybe you didn't switch a sticker or something like that. The only time that they actually work is when bing, self-checkout number 5 needs assistant. Yep. And then they come, they don't even say hi to you. They just swipe their card to override whatever the problem is. 9 times out of 10, they don't even ask. They don't even check. They just boop, swipe, wait for the light to go off. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead, sir. And they go right back to the front and just stand there, swinging their badge around, looking at you. And they're thinking to myself, man, this is the easiest paycheck I've ever made. Life is good. Love living in this country. That's what they're saying. Yep. I'm sorry. I can't believe that we have all been falling for this. Yeah, that's one. Oh, gosh. I cannot believe that we've been doing this. The other thing that I thought was another scam, and this goes back to work, is, this is work-related scam, okay? So I thought HR was the biggest scam, right? But you know what else is a scam? Working salary, not hourly. Yeah, I've had a lot of friends say, Shania, Shy, what are you doing? You've been working in corporate all of your life, and yeah, you need to elevate and get up there to working salary. Now this is one scam I've never fallen for. It took me a while to be able to vocalize my theories on salary versus hourly. I don't understand why. And there are people who are actually salary believe that they are making good money if they are salary versus hourly. Now, folks, I have never been strong in math. My dad will tell you that. He'll say, oh no, math was Shania's weakest subject. But all I needed to know was the basics. You know what the basics are? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And that's all you really need. At least that's all I needed. I've never used calculus or algebra or geometry. None of that for me. At least not for me. I'm pretty sure it works for other people, but I don't need all of that. I just need the basics. The basics told me that, wait, I already work overtime. I told y'all that. So if I was salary and I was working over 40 hours, wait, I don't get compensated for that? And these jobs, it's like, yeah, you do. We're still giving you a paycheck, but it's overtime. So when people will be like, yeah, Shine, you're too far up. You've been doing this for a long time and you're still not salary. No, thank God. Because I have been at certain jobs where I had to end up working 50, 55 hours a week, almost 70. And that was in my younger days in corporate banking. And thank God I wasn't salary. I hear this all the time, Shania, if you work salary, you'll elevate yourself up because you can put that on your resume. And if people see that you're salary, right, you can get offered better positions when you're out there looking for a job. And then you'll get a higher annual salary. But my little brain be like, nah, there's something weird behind that. See, those are the people who they just go ahead and they equate salary and they equate status, to salary. I don't really care. I don't really care about salary and a title. What I care about is being paid fairly. And I'm saying if I do over 40 hours a week, then you need to accommodate me for the extra hours that I have given you from my life to you in your company. That's what I say. And people will say, well, that's worked into a salary position. Is it? Nah, no, it's not. And I have seen people, like I've seen my managers or, the IT department, whoever, and they'll be like, yeah, we was on a big project and we was here from 11. And then we had to come back in on a Saturday and we was here from like 9 a.m., until like 5 p.m. on a Saturday. And they didn't make overtime. See, that's all contained in salary. So what I'm saying is that is the biggest scam, because they'll present it to people like, yeah, if your salary, that means you're probably on a management level, an individual contributor level or whatever, but it still says that they're taking you for a fool. Now, don't get me wrong. There are jobs. I'm talking about, like, if you're like one of these big CEOs or whatever, they act like they work a lot of hours, but most times they're out of the office claiming they on a business trip or whatever, sitting by somebody's poolside. They're actually socializing more than they are working, and they're making 6 to 8 figures or whatever. That's something different. I'm not talking about that kind of, I'm just talking about a good old, I'm the manager of AP or I'm the manager of AR. Okay. And maybe let's just say you might, maybe the low end like supervisor might start at like 80, maybe 90,000 a year. I don't know, whatever, I've been looking, and I kind of see what's out there in the job market. But what I'm saying is that, yes, it looks appealing because they're like, but we're saying that you're a manager. You're a manager and you're managing 10 people. And you are being paid to manage 10 people that probably get on your nerves, that don't want to work. You're stressing out because you have reports and you're up here running around like a Tasmanian devil for some company who is actually sucking the very essence out of you at a flat rate. You know what a flat rate is? It means flat line eventually if you keep working and you're not getting paid overtime. And people be like, it balances out. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I promise you, because if you know what real managers, how much they actually have to do and how many hours they require them to work, I mean, they're picking up their cell phones, their job is calling them in the middle of the night. Hey, this wire didn't go through, blah, 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 blah. And you are being taken away from your home life and you are given your time literally for free. Because remember, they're paying you at a flat rate. A flat rate. They're not paying you hourly. So, because remember, if you are hourly, if you work overtime, we still come out on top, because now most places, they're going to pay you what? Time and a half. Okay. And then depending on what you're doing and what shift you're working, because I have worked night shift and evening shift before. When I worked the third shift, they was just like, not only will we pay you overtime, but we will pay you time and a half. There's been 2 jobs I've held in my lifetime where they have paid me double time and a half and a shift differential. But see, when a manager who is salary takes one of those positions, yeah, they might get a differential a little bit, I think, but it's all lumped into that salary. Yeah, and people be like, yeah, but they get bonuses. And I'm like, I promise you that company that is paying them salary is still getting more from them, from their lives, from their personal time than what they are actually paying them. And again, I am excluding the top dogs like your CEOs and your CFOs. That's a whole entire different salary thing. But people get so psyched at a title. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, baby, look, if I thought that you was gonna pay me, I don't know, $35 an hour, you could call me a janitor. I don't care. You could call me, like, well, that's just the trash lady. That's cool. I could care less. All I know is I'm making $35 an hour. I've never been interested in a title, because what they're doing when they be like, hey, Cindy, you just got promoted to supervisor. Cindy's like, yay, she got promoted to supervisor. But what you understand what comes with that title, right? They then dump like the work of 10 people onto Cindy. And Cindy's buried underneath all this work, and she's still like, thank you, I'm still a supervisor. I have a title. I don't care about titles. I think I told y'all that. I told y'all I don't chase a dollar. I said I don't chase a dollar. But I do chase common sense. Do the math, folks. It's a scam. It is a scam to make you feel like if you have this title and you are salary, that you have come up in the world. And meanwhile, you are out there working like a freaking slave, like you're on this treadmill. You're on a treadmill. You know how you're on a treadmill, but you're not going anywhere. You're just running in the same place. That's what salary means to me. Yeah, another scam. It is just the biggest scam. Another scam happens to us all the time. Things that make our lives easier, right? But it definitely has consequences. It is presented to make your life easier, you know, and I lied to you not. I never forgot this one time when I used to go to the mall. I was in the mall and, you know, wanted to go up to the upper level so I can go to the movie theater. And, you know, you got the elevator, but the elevator's packed. Okay, I'm not getting on the elevator. So what do you have? You have the steps and you have the escalator. Okay. So everybody's like, yay, we're going upstairs to go to the movie theater. Escalators, big sign, out of order. Can y'all explain to me why there is a crowd of people? Like, there was a discussion, like, oh my God, the escalator's broke. And right next to it, literally, it's steps, regular, good old fashioned steps. And people were thinking about this, like, how am I going to get up there? The reason why I say that's a scam is because society has said, oh my God, something was created for us that basically is supposed to make our lives easier. But are those escalators really making your life easier? While you're going up on these slow motion steps, and I mean, them escalators be packed. You ever see them? I mean, you've seen them in the malls, whatever. And meanwhile, as we're going up, so is our weight. We're not moving. And then the government comes out on TV and Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig's and Atkins guys are like, yes, you got to stay active. You got to move. But they keep creating things where you don't have to move. You don't have to move. You don't have to move. Yeah. And then you're brainwashed. And it's like when remote control TVs came out. People will sit there on the couch and be like, where's the remote? And then they get this tunnel vision. It's like, and then they focus in and realize that the remote control is all the way over on the TV stand with the TV. But they need to change the channel. And I have seen people suffer. I myself included. See people suffer through a TV show they don't want to watch. They don't want to watch. All because they're like, oh my God, the remote is all the way over there. How am I going to change the channel? Yeah. Yep. Supposed to make your life easier. And you're just like, and now you're baffled. You're sitting here with a actual problem, or you believe is an actual problem. Until somebody walks in the room and then you're like, bing, problem resolved. Hey, can you change the channel or pass me the remote? I mean, I know y'all like, Cheyenne, come on. Like, really? I'm just saying, these are the little things that, like, just, I don't know, like, we're all in a state of, like, sleep. Yes, this was random, little random topics here and there, but it is something to make you think about. Especially that free labor one. It's absolute free labor. It is. It's an ugly thing, y'all. It's an ugly thing. And it's like, yeah, this topic was free labor. It's trickery of the mind. It's illusions. It's magic. Very dangerous, folks. Just something for y'all to think about. I hope I didn't insult anybody's intelligence out there. Don't feel bad. I just sat here and told y'all I fell prey to. Oh no. Free labor. And you know what I'm going to suggest about that too? I'm going to tell you guys the next time you are in the store, even if it's killing you, try really hard. Try really hard to go into that cashier's line. I know they're going to be like, ma'am, sir, we got 5 self-checkout lines over here, and be like, Yes, those people actually get paid to do what they have now put in front of our faces to do. Wait a minute, one more. So there is a restaurant called Melting Pot. Okay, I don't know if everybody has the Melting Pot in Texas. There's a restaurant called Melting Pot. And the concept actually sounded really good when I first went there, because I had heard like they bring the stuff out to you and then you cook it at the table. Again, I can't believe I fell for this. So I didn't really understand, well, actually, it wasn't presented to me like that. They said that they bring the food and it's made in front of you. That's what they said. And then me and my friend Anil at the time, we was just like hanging out. And so we was just like, let's go to the Melting Pot. A couple of years back. Okay. So we're looking and we're like, God, what should we eat or whatever? So he chooses, I choose. Yeah, they brought it out all right. The guy brings out the beef, he brings out the chicken, he brings out the vegetables and everything, and it's all nice and proportioned out. And we're thinking the guy, and I mean the little Brunson burner or whatever, hot plate, and we're thinking he is going to go ahead and make the food. And he goes, okay, here's everything. Okay, so you guys just have a good time. Do it yourselves. I didn't know that they literally brought out, he brought out raw food. He brought it out and said, here you go. Now, I know y'all probably like, well, Cheyenne, it's a fun experience. No, because if I wanted to go out, if I wanted to cook the food myself, I would have stayed at home and cooked it myself. Not sitting here. First of all, I can't cook sitting down. Think. It's just weird. I gotta be up moving. Yeah, to cook it yourself. That was the worst meal I ever had. And then you got the nerve to bring me the check and got a nice little space for a tip? What am I tipping you for? You brought me out a whole entire, basically you just brought out the groceries and put it on the table and said, here, do something with this. You got the nerve to have a little space for a tip. I want to say, I think gratuity was built in there, which I never understood that whole entire concept about gratuity. That little thing, that kind of irks me too. Gratuity. That's another scam. So you built that in because apparently, if I remember correctly, they said gratuity is built in because people live off their tips. I totally get that, okay? I'm very respectful, and I believe in tipping. I believe in tipping well. You know what I'm saying? For anybody who does service work, but I don't think that you should just throw it in there, because I may not have gotten good customer service. So in other words, you're just going to go ahead and force me to tip you whether that service was good or not because you have a gratuity built in. I think that's ridiculous. Like, it's kind of like just taking the option away from you, and you still got the nerve to have a little blank line that says tip under the word gratuity, and I'm supposed to give you extra money? Scam. You ripping people off. Makes me mad. Yeah, it does. Okay, I was about to wrap this up, but now since I done went off into the tip world, it's the same thing. Like, why are there tip jars, like, I don't know, at the donut shop? Why are there tip jars at the gas station? Why are there tip jars at 7-Eleven? I'm not talking about the St. Jude's box, or to eat, feed the Ethiopians. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about literally you done took a mason jar or a plastic mayonnaise jar and wrote with a selfie, what do you call that? Sharpie. You wrote on there tips. And then you put all that plastic tape over it or whatever, and you got the nerve to put it out there. Why would I give you a tip? I just went in to buy my morning donut and a coffee. And I'm not talking about like Starbucks. I'm talking about like the little local donut shop. They made a pot of coffee. It's probably Maxwell House or Folgers or whatever, with the styrofoam cups. They don't even serve it to you. You be like, oh, I want a coffee. And then you go over there and pour your own coffee into the cup and you go on out with your little donut. Why would I need to give you a tip? What am I tipping you for? In other words, when I said I'll take 2 glazed donut and that bear claw, why am I tipping you? Did you say, okay, that'll be, like $5.86, and you had the donuts like here, you was juggling, with the donuts and the bear claw? Was you serving it to me while you was riding a unicycle? Like, I was just like, what am I tipping you for? Why am I tipping somebody at 7-Eleven? What did you do? I don't get it. Did you give me a winning ticket when I went to go buy a lottery ticket? I don't understand how these little stores, and I literally see people putting tips in. Now, I'm not talking about like if you don't want to keep your pennies from the change. Okay, yeah, everybody's not a penny fan. Let me tell you something. I keep my penny. Shoot, I asked for it too. That's another thing. I'll get into that in a minute. But what I'm saying is, I see people actually put currency. Like it might be $1 and they'll put it in there. What are you tipping? What did they do at 7-Eleven, a gas station, a donut shop? I've seen tip jars. I promise y'all, I cannot make this up. I have seen tip jars at a local dry cleaner. What am I tipping you for? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, I guess you dry cleaned it good. I don't know. But I really have a problem with 7-Eleven and gas stations and donut shops. I don't understand what am I tipping you for? Tip. Yeah, if you want a tip, I'm going to say, yeah, I don't know. Don't walk under, a ladder or something. I'm not giving you currency. Like, that's crazy. I forgot what I was supposed to go back to, and I said I'll come back to that later. I was talking about the tips or something. That whole entire thing just makes me mad. Whatever. It'll come back someday. Probably as soon as I hit the stop button on here. Yeah, that kind of stuff makes me mad. These are the things that we are like literally, like it seems like sometimes people don't question. We just go along with the program. These are subliminal messages all the time. Yep. Yeah. Isn't that great? Yeah. I just wanted y'all to think about something. Y'all can chalk this video up to another one of my rants, if that's okay. But y'all gotta admit that out of all those little things that I talked about, folks, there is something that I promise you that's going to resonate within, and you're going to be like, dang, yeah, she did make me think, even when I didn't want to. I'll be like, yeah, I did. Yup, so that's it. Sun's going down. I'm losing light, but just want to say hi. And next time, here's my tip to all of you. Stop giving people free labor, okay? I know that you're saying, Sean, I don't have time to wait on people. I got to get in and out. But you better think about it. That person that's standing up there watching you scan your own items, bag your own items, they're actually getting paid to watch you do their job. How crazy is that? Yeah, think about that the next time. And think about how that they present to you all these things that make your life easier, like things that vacuum your floor, things that take you without moving up to the next level, all sorts of things like that. Meanwhile, they're getting your money because now you have become out of shape because you don't want to move your body. Think about that. That's a scam. And you think if you're still working in America like I am, whether it's corporate or just a regular job, don't be so quick to take that title. Because with that title comes a price. It's called being paid salary. And they make it look so good. But they're really ripping you off. They're like, yes, let's get as much time out of her for free. Man, you gotta love how this works. Until next time, folks, take care of yourselves. Think, be conscious, and don't let nobody get over on you. Bye-bye.